Hi, this is Nancy at Notions, and today we're going to talk with a really cool vendor with some artist quality products that are for crafters and artisans, and this is just a really cool thing. You're going to love this. So Bernie is originally from Ireland, so she has a cute little accent, but now she lives in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is where PanPastel is. Bernie, tell us a little bit about PanPastel.
PanPastel is a completely unique way to use the pastel medium. It's dry color, pastel color in a pan. So pastels until now have been in a stick form, but by putting it in a pan form you can do really cool things, unique things and techniques that you can't do with regular pastel sticks.
Now what I really loved is she mentioned a couple of things in the presentation. It took them 5 years to get this just right.
Yes, it did. The concept itself was simple, but developing the optimum formulations and also the applicators that we developed, the soft tools to go with the colors so that you get the perfect application of color every time. The entire thing took 5 years for us to develop.
Yep, that's amazing. Now, there are so many different techniques that you can do with these PanPastels. We're going to have Bernie run through just a few of them so you'll have some idea what you're getting into.
I'm going to be using some of our pure colors in a palette, and the palette trays are great. As you can see, I can just pop the color in, it holds the colors there securely. You can see the labels and all the information on the underside. And the coolest thing is that very easy cleanup and preparation time. So you can
a small footprint in your studio. It doesn't take a lot of space even in the studio.
Very small. The lids are great for storing and transporting, and then the palettes actually stack. So that's another good thing. So to start using, PanPastel are very easy to use. So I'm using one of the larger soft tools, the angle slice round, and I'm just going to show you how you can block in layers of, for an underpainting or a background. You can put in, easily put in down blocks of color very quickly, and there's very little dust. So I can just, if you're showing this to your customers, you can just show how little dust there is.
Totally different than using the pastel sticks.
Yes. And then you just lift one, as I was doing, 1 or 2 swipes of color is all you need, so you don't use a lot of color each time. The colors are fully erasable, so I can take any eraser. This isn't a magic eraser, it's just a regular vinyl eraser, but any eraser will allow me to remove color. So you can do that for a subtractive technique for drawing, or you can just correct or remove color if you see a mistake.
Yeah, but artists don't make mistakes, so we wouldn't have to worry about that, right? Yeah.
That's true. So anyway, so they're very forgiving. So any level of artist or crafter can use them. They're very mixed media friendly, so they're pastels. So with the pastel sticks, obviously they're completely compatible, but also with pencils. They're great for putting in a colored pencil background, for pastel pencils or colored pencils. Also with markers, I can use a marker, so I can put down my background with PanPastel and then use the marker.
And that amazes me. I would think that it would affect the color of the marker, but it doesn't. That black Copic is just as black as the black Copic is.
Yes, because the sponge has pushed the color into the paper tooth, and so it's pushed in and isn't sitting there, and it can't really be picked up much by the nib.
And it didn't get any icky on the nib either,
no.
So that really surprises me.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to show you a few more techniques.
One of the most important and unique aspects of PanPastel is that they're mixable dry color. Now I'm cleaning off in between colors on a paper towel. Any paper towel will work, and then you can switch colors with very little contamination, but I can mix my colors. And that's
so nice.
That's the first time you've been able to mix dry color like a paint. So it makes it, you can customize and make your own colors. And I can still erase into those if I want. But I also want to show you that I can mix either on the surface or on the pan itself. So I can put some of the red on this yellow pan, so it's pre-mixed by the time I put it on the paper. However, don't panic, because I can either use a paper towel, or a clean sponge, and that cleans off the surface because it's dry color, so it hasn't mixed as it would with wet color. So another really cool technique to show your customers that's quick and easy and is a great way to get across the characteristics of PanPastel is to show a Versamark technique. So I'll just get
What I really like about this is the stores already have Versamark. The stores already have stamps.
Yes,
So they've got that. So this is kind of an add-on to something they already are selling.
absolutely. It's very easy to show and to demonstrate, but also your customers will get
you
it
look
right
at that?
away. So the color appears.
It's like a magic writing. So you could write something and nobody would know what it was.
And you can blend the colors and you can continue. You can, one of the things some people do is they keep rubbing and rubbing, so burnishing it almost, and it comes out beautifully. You get the pattern coming up from the stamp. And again, if you can add other mediums, so you could add some colored pencil or marker, you can erase, so you can go in and work into that if you want to, because PanPastel is so mixed media friendly.
Very cool.
We also have some mediums which are really interesting. We introduced these recently, pearlescent mediums. So there are 2 white pearlescent mediums and 2 black pearlescent mediums, and there are coarse particles. They're mica based, so they're coarse particles of mica and fine particles.
So in Nancy's terminology, it's super blingy and just a little bit blingy.
Absolutely.
So we've got super bling and a little bit bling, okay?
And just to show you the difference, I'll put the black down on black paper because it really shows it up. And that's the coarse that I just put down, and this is the fine. And so there are 2, and you can also see the difference on the pan itself. So if you just want a little sheen, you would use the fine. If you wanted a super bling, then you would use the coarse.
All right, so now do the copper.
Okay.
I'm like telling her what to do. This copper one made us all go, ooh.
The copper flows beautifully.
It looks like metal.
And then we have bronze. We have 2 different golds. I'll just show you the rich gold here. And the great thing about these is you can customize them. So now you can customize your gold or your bronze or your copper. So I can add a little bit of, we'll say, this red to the copper just to make it maybe less blingy, or just to make it a darker, richer copper. Same thing with the gold. I can add, we'll say, some violet, just to give it a hint.
Yeah, and it just blends beautifully.
And just like the original colors, the non-metallics, they're fully erasable.
Amazing.
So again, very forgiving. And if you want to make the colors permanent, you can just put any pastel compatible spray, fixative or sealant on them. So we also have a great use of the pearlescent whites is to make your own pearlescent colors. We do have 6 pre-mixed pearlescent colors. Here's Pearlescent Red. So I'll put that down first. So that's the pre-mixed Pearlescent Red. However, if I just take the coarse medium, which is white, I can add some red to that and make my own Pearlescent Red, and I can make it as strong or as pale as I like. So I can keep blending until I get the perfect Pearlescent Red. One other important medium that I should mention is the colorless blender. It's super versatile. So I can take, using the red again, and then I'll put some of the colorless blender down, and it allows me to extend and dilute the color, making it more transparent. I can go on forever with this, and it doesn't change the red. The red is still the same. However, if I was to use white, it will tint the color and it won't extend it as much.
What really amazes me, do that again with just the solid red and put that solid red right on there. The color, the coverage that you're able to get with a pastel is amazing. I mean, that's like marker coverage with a pastel.
Yes, the colors are really loaded up with their high quality artist pigments, but there's a lot of pigment in them. So they go a long way. They last about 4 to 5 times. You get 4 to 5 times more coverage than the average stick, and that's mainly because there's so much concentrated color in there, but also you're laying down thinner layers of color when you're putting down the color on the paper. So there's a lot less waste, but the color is traveling further.
Amazing.
Another technique that's great with PanPastel is to use it to hand color digital prints or digital photographs. So this was just a still life photograph that I converted to black and white on my computer, and I printed it out on just regular inkjet paper. And now, because PanPastel can go on smooth surfaces like this, I can add, because it's dry, I can add PanPastel to my pear here. And because I can control the amount of color I put down, I can still allow some of the shadows to show through from the black and white photograph. And of course, I can go in, I can clean up the edge with the eraser as I would normally do on any paper. So it's a really cool way to either hand color a photograph or to add to journaling or collage pieces that you might want to take some photographs and color them.
So can you do that on photo paper?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. Yeah. This is the only photo paper that it wouldn't work on is glossy photo paper, so satin or matte photo paper, and that's what this is.
Okay.
Also, PanPastel is great with templates and stencils because the color pushes it, the sponge pushes the color into all the edges, so you can get really sharp lines and patterns.
And the blending.
Yes, and you can blend the colors on the edges. So I'll just show you this partial so you can see, you can get a really nice effect.
So when you're looking at PanPastel, you're looking at it for the fine art and for the crafter. There's such a large range of what you can do with PanPastel. I want you to take a look at a lot of the different videos that are out there showing so many different techniques using PanPastel. You can't go wrong. This is really amazing stuff. Thanks for watching.